Hi there, this is Tata, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, November 13, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite. Alright, so Dynamite tonight was just all over the place. I felt like tonight's show, like the pacing was just off. And I'll get into that as I get into the show, but let's talk about this Will Ospreay segment. So, he has a segment in the ring where he basically calls out Kyle Fletcher. And because he himself was once a part of Don Callis' family, he basically asked Kyle Fletcher to take out whatever is in his back pocket, which ended up being the screwdriver. And he talks about how he allowed Kyle Fletcher to join him in the United Empire and how he knows where his son goes to school. He knows what the gym he works at and basically where he lives. And so, with this, one of the things I like about this is that Will Ospreay brings up the fact that what has Kyle Fletcher done, and he makes it a point to say what has he done specifically, not with him and Mark Davis when they were on the open. And so that is a good point. What has Kyle Fletcher done alone? So basically this leads to Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher wanting a match at Full Gear. Well, Kyle Fletcher wants a match with Ospreay at Full Gear. So I was really surprised they're doing it at Full Gear. I thought that they would save this for World's End. If that's the case, I definitely, in my opinion, I think Fletcher needs to win this match, and then you can have Will Ospreay go over at World's End. But I actually really like this. I thought it was a really good segment between both of them. I mean, they know each other so well. Afterwards, you got Brian Cage and Lance Archer come out, as do Mark Davis and Powerhouse Hobbs, and this brawl breaks out between everybody. And this leads into the next segment. But, tonight Dynamite kicked off with the Hangman Adam Page and Christian Cage versus Jay White and Juice Robinson. I thought this was actually a pretty decent match. I like this match. Hangman and Adam Page and Christian Cage won after Kip Sabian whacked Juice Robinson with a contract, and Hangman hit him with the dead eye. So that they won. With Hangman battling Jay White at Full Gear and Christian Cage. What? This was such an odd matchup. Hangman and Christian Cage versus Jay White and Juice Robinson. So, but with Hangman battling Jay White, he got that victory here by pinning Juice Robinson. So, we'll see what happens at Full Gear. But I think Hangman will probably beat Jay White. No, but I like this. I like this opening match. We got an issue with Mercedes Monè. And she keeps bossing around Camille. So I do think this is probably going to lead to the typical, lackey turns on the boss type of thing. I think Camille's eventually going to get tired of Mercedes Monè bossing her around. She's going to probably be the one to take that TBS title off of her. And she's talking about Chris Statlander. And she feels to see that Chris Statlander is watching from behind. So Chris attacks Camille first, and then she goes after Mercedes Monè, and they go through the wall. They do have a match. I don't think Chris Statlander is winning. I would be really surprised if she does. But after this, that's when we get the Will Ospreay segment. So I'll go ahead over. So after the Will Ospreay segment, we get a Falls Count Anywhere match. Roderick Strong versus Lance Archer. Remember, both Adam Cole Bay and Roderick Strong had to get 3 victories each in order for them to get MJF and for it to be a triple threat. So I was kind of disappointed with this Falls Count Anywhere match because I felt like they could have done so much more with this match. I feel like it was really short. Although the highlight of this match was when Lance Archer chokes on Matt Taven onto a bunch of security. So, but Roderick Strong was victorious, so he got his 3 wins here. And at the end, he basically says that he's going to go to Full Gear and he's going to end this and we will finish MJF's ass. And then Takeshita attacks Roderick Strong and Adam Cole Baby comes out. And one of the things I like is just as his match is starting, like he's also doing his pose while he's like attacking Konosuke Takeshita. I did like the match between Adam Cole Baby and Konosuke Takeshita, but I'm not surprised Konosuke Takeshita won here. Like he hit Adam Cole with the Dynamite Diamond Ring while the ref had his back turned. He had to win because the I don't want to say the money match, but basically the big match is Adam Cole versus MJF. They're probably gonna do that at World's End. So, and you guys remember, like, MJF paid off the Don Callis to take care of his issues. So, Konosuke Takeshita won here, and it cuts to MJF like watching them, just laughing at this match. Roderick Strong comes to help Adam Cole. Takeshita gets those blows Roderick Strong, and then interesting, Kyle O'Reilly comes out, and he helps Roderick Strong up, and as Adam Cole's trying to shake his hand, he just walks away. Do you guys remember, like, when the Undisputed Kingdom formed, Kyle O'Reilly did not want anything to do with the Undisputed Kingdom. He wanted to do things on his own. We're just missing Bobby Fish, and we could get Undisputed Era back. I don't think that'll happen, but should at World's End 1 year after the United Kingdom was formed. That was the best segment on the show. So I'm still waiting. I think it's only a matter of time before Kyle O'Reilly joins Adam Cole. I think this whole thing with the commemoration isn't really going to last that long, much longer. It's only a matter of time before he joins them. And then you had Ricochet, when Takeshita was leaving, he cheap shot it Takeshita on the ramp. So we know where that's going. It's going to be Takeshita versus Ricochet at some point, if not at Full Gear. Probably at World's End. We need Bobby Fish to return so we get the gangbang. Yeah, we do. Cole versus MJF at World's End 1 year after the Undisputed Kingdom was formed. Oh, okay, that's what you meant. I was like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that definitely should happen. I still think, and I've said this before, I still think the original plan last year was to do Adam Cole versus MJF at World's End. Unfortunately, Adam Cole got hurt, and that was not able to happen. I think that was the original plan. And I think the plan was probably for Adam Cole to take the title off MJF, unfortunately, because of the injury that was not able to happen. So, Bobby Lashley gets interviewed, and he says that Swerve Strickland is dangerous to everyone around him, but he promises to hurt Swerve Strickland, and that they'll be watching as Swerve is in action tonight. We got the Death Rider segment. So they are prolonging MJF and Cole for another match. Yeah, they definitely are. You could tell. I was not a huge fan of this segment, the Death Rider segment, because, it was promoted as Jon Moxley taking over TBS. And how is this taking over TBS? JD Drake got a chair shot to the back. That's all they did. I was expecting like a full takeover. Like I was expecting Jon Moxley and the Death Riders to like go in a production truck or show up to TBS station and just like, appear on screen, just him talking. And Jon Moxley failure sees TBS. Yeah, he does. He did fail to see TBS because this just felt like a regular segment. How was this takeover? Really, like a takeover to me. I mean, I hate to compare, but you guys remember when DX took over the production truck? I was expecting something like that. Like, have Jon Moxley take over the production truck, have him run wild on TBS, and like have him like go to commercial break during matches and stuff like that. Like that's what I wanted from this. I thought the whole Dynamite was gonna be Jon Moxley taking over TBS, but this segment, same old Moxley crew beatdown. Okay, we get it. Yeah, definitely. But I was not a huge fan of this. Seriously, like they felt like they could have done so much more with this. And this was just your typical Jon Moxley promo. He didn't say anything spectacular. Orange Cassidy, Mark Briscoe, and Rocket Metal come out. And they basically attacked the Death Riders. And then, like, Darby Allin from, like, the crowd, like, jumped off the thing. I did like Cassidy. No, because Cassidy did cut a good promo. But I liked how he says that for a guy who didn't like to wrestle, he did a lot more wrestling. He was pretty good at it. And we also find out Cassidy's going to wrestle Wheeler Yuta next week. And it's going to be Darby Allin versus Claudio Castelloni too. But I just was not a huge fan of this. We get the learning tree. Not a huge fan of the learning tree, so I didn't really care for this. But basically, like, Chris Jericho accepted Tomohiro Ishii's challenge for Dynamite in Chicago, and they mentioned the last time that Ishii faced Jericho, which was 2 years ago, November 23rd, 2022, in Chicago as well. So that was the whole point of this. We get Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Penelope Ford. This is an okay match. Obviously, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, won by submission. And then Serena Deeb came out. Like, Serena Deeb and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, have faced each other before. So it seems like they're going to rekindle that rivalry. We'll see how it plays out this time. We get a Mina interview, and she's going to face Harley Cameron on Collision. But she's talking about how she was excited to see Anna's match against Mariah May. Sorry. Against Anna Jay. And they're going to have this big champagne celebration. But that was an okay segment. We get Strickland versus Lio Rush. This was arguably like my favorite match of the entire night. This was a great match. Honestly, like, this should have been the main event. But Swerve Strickland won after he hit the no pressure to Lio Rush. But this was great. This was really great. And that Hurricanrana that Lio Rush did to Swerve Strickland on the floor was pretty cool. At the end, Swerve Strickland's talking about how Lio Rush and Shelton Benjamin tried and failed to use his name and his accolades to prove a point. And Shelton Benjamin attacked Swerve Strickland from behind. Mariah May. Okay, Mariah May. You know what I meant. An MVP choked Prince Nana with his cane, and Bobby Lashley put the hurt lock on Swerve Strickland. I think they were just calling it the full Nelson. And that was pretty much it. I cannot wait for Bobby Lashley versus Swerve Strickland. I think it's going to be a good match. I think Bobby Lashley would probably beat Swerve Strickland. I think Swerve Strickland will be okay if he loses to Bobby Lashley. We get a short Jamie Hayter interview, and she's basically talking about how she's going to continue to do what she says she's going to do. And this gets interrupted by Julia Hart vignettes. I think I've been liking Julia's vignettes. I think they've been pretty cool the way they've been doing them. So the main event ends up being the Full Gear 4-Way Contender Series match. The Kings of the Black Throne versus FTR. A decent match. Brody King put Stacks to sleep, so the Kings of the Black Throne were victorious. Glad that Julia Hart's on TV. Yeah, she is. Private Party was watching this on the ramp. So overall, I feel like the pacing of this show was just not there. Like, they opened the show and then it went to the Mercedes interview. And like, even with that Will Ospreay stuff, like that brawl quickly led into the Falls Count Anywhere match. That quickly led into Adam Cole versus Konosuke Takeshita. It seemed like they didn't give time to breathe. And this whole Jon Moxley taking over TBS, that was a failure. I did not like that at all. So on a scale from a 1 to Sean Spears' perfect 10, this was a 3 at best. Or you thought it was a 1? Awful show, embarrassing show, for rush pacing. Yeah, I did kind of feel rushed, especially like the beginning half of this. It did. I'm not gonna lie. My favorite things were like the Will Ospreay and the Swerve Strickland versus Lio Rush. But let me know what you guys thought of tonight's show in the live chat or in the comment section down below. Alrighty. Well, with that being said, that concludes this review. Alright, thank you guys all so much for watching and for continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And if I don't see you guys tomorrow on Body Slam for the TNA review, I'll see you guys back here Friday after SmackDown. Bye.